Shot sizes are one of the most confusing aspects of the shotgun world. For newcomers, all those arbitrary letters and numbers are another mystery, and even many experienced shooters can't keep track of all the different sizes, their diameters, and how they're organized.
And every shot size chart or table I've come across is incomplete in one way or another.
So, I figured I'd kick off this new video series with an exhaustive two-part video guide that covers all of the American shot sizes, common and uncommon. I'll explain the various formulas and naming conventions, and touch briefly on what the different sizes are used for. I'll explain some basics and try to keep things easy for newcomers to follow, but even experienced shooters should be able to learn something new here. Now, the American shot size system isn't the only one in the world, but trying to include others in the same video would just be confusing, especially for Birdshot, where the same numbers and letters refer to different diameters in different systems. A majority of my viewers live in areas that predominantly use American shot sizes, so that's what I'll cover first. Other shot size systems will get their own videos later on. I'll get to specific sizes shortly, but first, some definitions and background.
For the purposes of this video, shot refers to spherical projectiles fired 2 or more at a time from a firearm. Shot size is either the nominal diameter of the pellets, or the standardized name representing that diameter. Non-spherical shot exists, but I've never come across a standard size system for those projectiles, and they only show up in a handful of novelty or specialty shot shells anyway. Shot can be made from a variety of materials, but I won't get into that much in this video because standard shot sizes are the same for all materials. Despite some misleading charts, there aren't separate size systems for lead and steel shot. As used in firearms, shot can be separated into 2 major varieties, smaller birdshot and larger buckshot. Both are round pellets fired manifoldly, but they can be distinguished by their size, the way they're loaded, their ballistic properties, and how they're used.
The next video will cover buckshot. This video will focus on birdshot. Birdshot is very much a characteristic shotgun payload.
Dozens, hundreds, even thousands of birdshot pellets are fired simultaneously and spread out in flight to create a wide cloud called a pattern that improves the shooter's chances of hitting small, fast-moving, and/or distant targets. The idea is that with the right pattern, a target anywhere inside will be hit by enough pellets to get the job done.
This is the kind of behavior most folks associate with shotguns, sometimes incorrectly so, but more on that in the next video.
As the name suggests, birdshot is used on all types of birds, along with other small game animals, pests, and varmints, and inanimate objects like the breakable clay discs used in various shooting activities. Because birdshot pellets are relatively small and used in large numbers, the amount of birdshot in a shell is typically described by the total weight or mass of shot, usually in ounces or grams. When it's loaded, the shot is measured out by weight or an equivalent volume, not by a specific number of pellets. Ammo manufacturers may give pellet counts in addition to the weight of shot, but these numbers are almost always estimates. Standard American birdshot ranges from the size of a grain of sand to just below the smallest buckshot in steps of 1/100th of an inch. There are also accepted half sizes that cut that step to just 5/1000ths of an inch.
That's less than the thickness of one of my beard hairs.
All these birdshot sizes are split between 2 major naming systems. The smaller sizes use a system of numbers, while larger sizes are designated by letters. We'll run through the sizes, starting at the bottom with the numbered birdshot. The way these numbers work, the lower the number, the larger the pellet. It's a little counterintuitive, but there's a handy mathematical formula that relates these numbers to their corresponding pellet diameter. Simply take the shot size number, subtract it from 17, and the difference is a nominal pellet diameter in hundredths of an inch. Take number 5 birdshot as an example. 17 minus 5 is 12. Move the decimal point 2 places to the left, and number 5 birdshot pellets are 0.12 inches in diameter. This formula also holds true for non-integer numbers, allowing for half sizes such as 7.5. 17 minus 7.5 is 9.5, or 0.095 inches. The numbered birdshot sizes start at number 12, which is 0.05 inches in diameter, followed by number 11 and number 10. Anything smaller than number 12 is simply called dust shot, though sometimes number 11 and number 12 are also referred to as dust shot. Because of their very low mass, tiny number 10, 11, and 12 pellets are only effective on small animals at very close ranges. For that reason, these sizes are used primarily for pest control and are often called rat shot or snake shot. You won't see many actual shotgun shells factory loaded with this tiny shot nowadays, but it does show up in specialty shot shells and pistol cartridges, and the shot by itself can be obtained for hand loading. Moving up the scale, we have number 9, 8, and 7 shot. Unlike minuscule number 10 and smaller sizes, this shot is heavy enough to remain effective beyond absolute point-blank ranges, but still provides very high pellet counts and large, dense patterns that are ideal for fragile, but smaller fast-moving targets such as clays or small game animals. Also in this range are number 7.5 and number 8.5 birdshot. These are the only common half sizes in the American system, though others can be defined. When dealing with pellets this small, half sizes offer relatively significant changes in pellet count, and with the way these sizes are made and used, it makes sense to have these intermediaries. Since number 9 through number 7 lead birdshot is less expensive to manufacture than most larger sizes, they're what you'll usually find in cheap, steel-based bulk-pack shot shells that are great for inexpensive plinking and training. Next, number 6, number 5, and number 4 birdshot are popular for hunting most upland game, as well as smaller or close-range waterfowl. .125-inch number 4.5 shot isn't unheard of. Some reloading suppliers offer slightly oversized number 4 shot that's technically number 4.5. And since that's exactly 1/8 of an inch, metal balls from various other sources can be repurposed as shot. But if you see shotgun ammunition specifically marked as number 4.5 birdshot, or 5.5 or 6.5, you're more likely dealing with a different shot size system. British birdshot sizes include number 4.5, but that's similar to American number 6. Above number 4 is number 3, number 2, and number 1 birdshot. These bigger pellets are used primarily on waterfowl, offering the penetration and energy retention needed for big, tough birds like geese, or long-range shots at high-flying game. At .16 inches in diameter, number 1 shot tops off the numbered birdshot sizes. Larger sizes still move up in 100th inch increments, but the math is replaced by a new system of letters and tuples. The sizes just above number 1 are the Bs. At .17 inches, what would have been number 0 by the number size formula, is B-shot. After that, we have BB shot at .18 inches, and triple B at .19 inches. If that middle one rings a bell, yes, 18 caliber BB birdshot was the original basis for the name and bore size of BB air guns. However, air rifles have evolved some since their introduction, and the standard pellet size for modern BB guns is 4.5 mm or .177 caliber.
Also, it's worth mentioning that BB is often used as a catch-all term for shotgun pellets. If someone uses BB as a plural noun, as in, I like Magnum shells because they hold more BBs, they probably just mean pellets in general, not necessarily BB-sized pellets.
Anyway, above triple B, there's no quadruple B. Instead, things start over with a new letter and we have 20 caliber T shot and 21 caliber TT shot. Then, the letter changes once more to give us 22 caliber F shot, sometimes called triple T, and 23 caliber FF shot. The Bs and Ts are common steel shot sizes for waterfowl hunting in areas where lead has been banned. Since steel shot has a relatively low density, achieving the same penetration and effective range requires larger pellets. The biggest T and F birdshot sizes are also used on thin-skinned varmints and predators like coyotes and wild cats. Compared to buckshot, these sizes offer higher pellet counts at the expense of some range and penetration. There's no handy formula for these letter birdshot sizes, but they're not too tough to keep track of. Just remember that B shot is essentially number 0 at 17 caliber, then the other two Bs, the Ts, and the Fs follow in the usual 100th inch increments. The F sizes top off the American birdshot system. 1/100th of an inch above FF is the smallest buckshot size, 24 caliber number 4 buck. We'll start there next time. All in all, American birdshot isn't too difficult to grasp and remember once you see how the system works.
Stay tuned for part 2 on buckshot, where things get somewhat less straightforward. For now, I welcome any questions and comments, and please let me know if there are any general shotgun topics you'd like me to explain. I've been planning this new video series for a while, and now that it's finally off the ground, I'm looking forward to feedback. Until next time, have fun and shoot safe.